Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I see people here in the Zoom meeting. Welcome. Welcome everybody from home. Unfortunately, we would like to have you all here in Schiedam, but unfortunately you're at home right now. But we are very happy that you can join us. Together with me today is Annemieke Loef. I will introduce her in a few seconds. We are in Schiedam right now, and we would like to start off with a little clip to show you a little bit about Schiedam and where you actually virtually are at the moment. So please enjoy the clip. So, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little introduction to Schiedam, the beautiful city where we are right now. Together with me here is Annemieke Loef. She's the Managing Director of Visit Schiedam. Annemieke, can you tell us a little bit about Schiedam?
Yes, of course, I'm glad to do so. In the first place, welcome to the historic city of Schiedam. We're very pleased that you join us here. We are a historic city, as I told you, and just only 5 minutes away from Rotterdam, which is a big city, and we are very small. We are quite famous for a unique DNA we have here, and that is the Genever. Since 1750, about, we produced Genever, and the Genever went all over the world. And it was also famous in England, for instance, and known as Dutch courage. We have still a lot of distilleries in Schiedam, and we're very proud to have them. Perhaps you know them, Nolet, famous for its Kettle One, vodka and Genever, Royal de Kuiper, world leader in liquors, Herman Janssen, which they produce a lot of distillates. But we also have the new ones and the gin makers with brands like Lopaard and Onder de Boompjes and Bobby's Gin, which are very famous here in Holland and are also, I hope, a little bit abroad. So we are very famous for the Genever, and in the former days it was we had about 400 distilleries in this small city of Schiedam, and they were all making this Genever, but we still do nowadays, and it's alive and kicking, and we're very proud to have all those beautiful distilleries in our town.
Very nice. So there's a large history about the distilleries, but there's still a lot of going on right now as well.
Yes.
And that's why you adopted the name Distillers District.
Yes.
So there must be a lot to experience here in Schiedam when it comes to the distilleries.
True. When you come to Schiedam, you notice immediately that we have this DNA, because we have a lot of monuments, about 450, and they remind you of the Genever history. You have the beautiful houses from the rich distillers, you have the warehouses, and of course you have the windmills. And in former days we had about 30 windmills, and they were solely made for the Genever industry.
Yeah, they were vital for the industry, right?
They were vital they were owned by the distillers, and they produced for the distillers. Nowadays we only have still 6 ones left, but they are the highest in the world. And that is because they were built after the city was built, so they had to be very high and very broad to produce. And we are called them the giants of our city.
Nice. And was there a little map you wanted to show where we are exactly? Is there a map that we can show at home to let the people see where Schiedam lies exactly?
I believe the map is shown without us seeing it.
Okay.
but I'm not quite sure. But that was,
There it
it
is.
is.
There it is.
So you can see we are close to Rotterdam, but not far away from Amsterdam too. And as we said, those two are very big cities, and we are a small city, but we have our own city rights.
Nice. So, and when you want to experience the distilleries and the whole Schiedam, visit Schiedam, what is there that you can do?
Well, we wouldn't be the Distillers district if we hadn't had a lot of tours and possibilities to enjoy the distillates. We have the gin, the vodka, the Geneva, all kinds of stuff. And of course you can visit the distilleries. We have all kinds of tours going there, but you can also sit.
Are they all open to the public or on reservation?
Only on reservation,
okay.
But still it's an experience, you know. They're all different. They have all a different way of presenting themselves.
So different look and feel, different history maybe.
Yeah. And you can spend days visiting them because they all have a different story and a different background, and which is very enjoyable. And of course you can taste the good stuff when you're there.
Yeah. And nowadays everybody's talking about gin.
Yes.
But we have to explain to everybody that Geneva is, let's say, the godfather of gin, right?
Yes, we always say, and we say that as the people of Schiedam, that Schiedam is the origin of gin. And during the English wars, the people fighting, the soldiers, they saw that the Dutch people drank
the Dutch courage.
The Geneva before going into a fight, and they called it Dutch courage, and they wanted to make it themselves. But of course we said no, this is our own recipe, and we're very careful with our recipes. So they started to make their own, and in the beginning they called it Geneva, and later on it was shortened into gin.
Okay.
So the origin of gin.
The original gin.
And we have a lot of producers, brands making gin nowadays.
Yeah, because we are here at a distillery of Series B.
Yeah.
And it's actually to show that there's a lot of going on right now. So it's not only the historic distillers that are still there, but there are still also new ones coming up with new brands, new sorts of ideas.
Yeah.
We will talk about. We'll talk to Alvina in a few seconds. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people over there?
Well,
when can they come?
Anytime. You're most welcome to visit Schiedam. It's very easy reachable. You can come here by public transportation. The airport is nearby, the central station with the trains, but also when you're in Rotterdam, please take the water taxi and come over water because it's a very nice ride. It goes very fast. It's an adventure. So there are many ways to visit Schiedam, and you will be surprised because it has a very historic city center, which is beautiful. Not so very crowded like the big cities, but intimate, and there's a lot of things to do and to enjoy and to experience. And certainly when you love gin or Geneva or vodka.
Perfect. And there's one famous way of getting into the city, right?
By water.
By water, right?
By water.
Yeah.
Yes, we are, as we told you, close to Rotterdam, and the water taxi brings you in a couple of minutes, and it's a nice ride.
Fantastic. So perfect for a day out, or maybe a couple of days even.
If
you want to visit all the distillers.
If you want to visit all the distillers, and we have a lot of other things you can enjoy, and beautiful hotels and bed and breakfast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Annemieke, for having us here in Schiedam.
Yeah.
I would like to introduce Alvina to join us and to tell us a little bit about where we are right now. As I told you, Series B, we are in a distillery right here. It's a small distillery, not started a long time ago, but they have a very special story. Alvina, nice to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Very, very nice to be here, actually, next to the... how would you call it in English?
Pot still.
The pot still, next to the pot still, of course. Alvina, Series B, there's actually two things you love. Honey and distillates. Or is it?
No, but bees. And
bees in general. Bees and distillates.
And I thought well, those two wouldn't combine, but they do.
Okay.
They actually do.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the company? When did you start, and what was the background of this?
Well, everything we do here is quite new. We started as a bee company. We have one special goal to breed bees that are resistant to the varroa parasite, which is one of the main death causes for bees, for honeybees.
And that is becoming a big problem, right?
It's
When it comes to biodiversity, we need the bees.
We need the bees, and we need them very much. Rudolf Steiner, not Einstein, but Rudolf Steiner said 100 years ago already, if the bees die, then we have only 4 years left.
Okay.
Bees are very, very important for the pollination, and that's not just about what we eat, like fruit and vegetables, but it's also coffee and tea and wine and chocolate and cotton, and a little bit more recent biofuels.
Okay.
So it's very important.
And where did this love for the bee started? Because you actually were the managing director of the Geneva Museum, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. Well, that was the love for the drinks, you know, not for the bees.
Yeah.
But, the bees were never in my system that much. But I discovered a friend of mine was really trying to launch this project. And he was doing that so well and so passionately that I thought, well, perhaps I can help with a lot of things I've learned in the Geneva Museum.
Okay.
Because when you want to do a project right, you have to make it possible to happen, and that's where I flew in.
Yeah.
And I really thought that was a big chance for me to do something extra for the world.
Yeah.
So.
And that's where things took off, right?
Yes, really.
Yeah, because it started with honey.
Yes.
And then?
Well, most beekeepers sell honey,
Yeah.
and they sell it to persons who eat honey. Most persons buy honey, put it in a closet, and
it stays there.
And it stays there. And
Yeah.
after half a year, they take it out, and it's all sugared.
Yeah.
But it's all crystallized.
Crystallized, yeah.
So you won't sell a lot of honey. And it's a small group of people who are already aware of the problem, and we wanted new ways to reach people, and we wanted to sell more because we have to have an exploitation.
Yeah.
We need
and to
pay
keep up the project, obviously, with the bees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I first started to make a mead, which is a wine from honey instead of grapes. It's a very, very old concept already, at least 8,000 years. So I thought that was nice to be in such a tradition.
So that's a fermented honey.
And that's a fermented honey.
Okay.
And well, I add some stuff to it because I
stuff.
wanted to taste nice.
Yeah.
But and then you know, when people buy something to drink, they drink it, and then they want a new one, if you're lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, if they like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if you buy a nice wine, then you want the same bottle again,
Yeah,
and again and again.
Yeah.
So that's how it started
But that's
to
the
run.
rationale behind it. If you get people to drink your mead and they like it, they'll come back and order more mead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the same time, when people drink it, they talk about it. So that's where the awareness comes in.
Yeah, because nowadays not a lot of people are used to drinking mead, right?
No. Well, there are certain groups,
Yeah.
but you won't reach a large group of people.
No.
It's getting larger though, because the awareness is growing.
Yeah.
So, but to know the percentage of the alcohol inside in the drink, you have to distill it. and that's where the distilling process started.
That's where these
yes. Well, at first we had.
You started off with.
You
the
saw it.
one.
It was very small.
Yeah.
But then, well, the same nice product came out, and we take it like this, and that's nice.
That's nice. Oh, yeah.
And we thought perhaps that's a possibility. Is someone else doing this? No one is doing this,
cool.
and not in the Netherlands. And as far
because
as
there are other meat producers in
yes,
Holland.
and most of them are beekeepers.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be well, my extra point, because I know about alcohol.
Yeah.
And I hope beekeepers know less about alcohol.
No,
so
yeah. That would be your competitive advantage.
Exactly,
Yeah. Okay,
exactly.
nice.
So that's when I started to distill the mead, and then people were so interested, and we made a series of tastes, and we tried that in small public,
batches,
yes,
among friends probably, or some
exactly,
influencers.
and we try to improve it,
Yeah.
and now we can say we have 5 really good tastes, and from a unique product from the bees. Our bees make the honey, we get the honey, make the mead, and then we distill the mead, and then you get our lovely Clutius and Clusius.
Distillate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Which is actually still on the way to everybody at home, because
yes,
it is still somewhere lost in the post offices, but it is coming, hopefully sooner than later, but they'll get this distillate right at home.
Exactly. You get the amber, and Elder is going to make a nice drink, nice cocktail with
the one.
Yes, exactly. And well, the Clutius and Clusius, we call it Mead brandy,
because there was no name for it, probably.
Exactly. No one is doing this.
No.
So what can you call it? A gin? No, it's not gin.
No.
Geneva? No, it's not Geneva. So what would it be then? And then we discovered this book. It's called Van de Bijen.
From the bees.
From the bees. And it's published the first time in 1597. And it is a correspondence by Clutius and Clusius. And those two persons were in the 80 Years' War, were very important for the start of the Netherlands.
Okay.
And they knew about bees, and they knew about botanicals, and well, they were very important. On the inside of the box is the story, and well, I told it already.
So they were the inspiration for the name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here in this book, well, you won't read it if I do like this, but there are several recipes for making mead,
okay,
but also for distilling mead.
So there was somebody who was doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clutius was a pharmacist.
Okay.
And he was actually the pharmacist of William of Orange.
Important pharmacist.
So exactly. So that's why we thought that one of our varieties would be the Prince of Orange.
That's
so
nice.
that's nice. Everything is pure homemade distilled honey. So we don't add other alcohol.
You don't buy other alcohol somewhere else.
No.
Everything is made here.
Yes, exactly.
And everything comes together here.
Yes.
Nice.
So
And then after this whole experience, after this whole adventure, you started to make other distillates as well.
yes, well, we have this amazing
Yeah.
things
Very
here.
nice.
And well, we love to work circular, and we want to make Genevers also. So that's not with the honey, but it's with the malt wine and the old recipes from Schiedam.
That's the old Geneva base, right? Mulled wine is the base for Geneva.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And well, the
and that's what the English forgot, right? malt wine when making gin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But well, I can
Go on about it. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So we are trying to make a very nice product, and we want to restore old family recipes, because Schiedam is still filled with people who our ancestors are distillers.
Yeah.
So that's very nice. At the same time, we're also distilling bread, old bread that would be waste. Well, if it's waste, then you can make malt wine from it.
Oh, nice.
As well. So
so that's circular as well.
Yes.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
that's I think the story behind our small distillery.
Great stuff.
But this for the bees is our main
and
thing.
the most important part.
Exactly.
Okay, so and we're now going over to the little bar behind us,
Yes.
where we're gonna have a taste
I'm so curious, aren't you?
of the drink. Yeah, I would like to see. So please join me. We'll go to the back where there's a little bar, and there we'll meet Elder. He's the bartender, and he will prepare a nice drink with this Mead brandy for you guys. See you in a bit. All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Elder. So you actually spell it with an H, but it's
Without an H, it's a silent H.
it's a silent
Yeah,
H.
it's a Portuguese name.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we say Elder.
Exactly.
And Elder is one of the best bartenders we have in the Netherlands. So we are in good hands here. And Elder, we are very curious to see what you came up with this drink, with this Mead brandy.
Yeah,
So to say, you are an ambassador for Series B.
I am.
And you also use their distillates to actually come up with new cocktails that you invent?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So also a few months, I think a year ago as well, we had like the whole Geneva convention, if I may say so, which was in Schiedam. And they had also a competition going on around, and I ended up using the amber as well, which gained me in the end as well the prize as well.
Oh, you won the competition?
Yes, I did
Nice.
with the amber.
With that drink?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
it's very
exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
So, what is the idea?
So the idea is actually to make a drink which all you guys can make at home as well. Easy going, refreshing, which you can drink as well in the summer. So unfortunately, I heard that not everyone received the package.
Yet.
So it's I'm gonna show you guys what the idea behind it is, along with the drink. So when you receive it, you can actually still make it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So as well, to give you guys a bit of an idea what Alvina was telling about. So basically, this is the honey which we collect in the area of Rotterdam. Out of the honey, we have some different kinds of mead. This is one of them, and from the mead we ended up distilling, and that's when you get actually the distillation. Out of those, I'm going to be using the amber, which is also on your way. And well, we asked you guys to use a tumbler or well, a long drink, which is the one that I'm going to be using. So this one.
Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, while making the drink, there are a few things that comes into place when it comes to quality as well. Because eventually, it's always ice, because we wanted to have our drinks cold as well. And one of the things that a lot of people mistaken for is that we always do the glass completely full with ice. I tend to explain it always the easiest way. The more ice you get, the less dilution you get into your drink. So basically, what I always tend to say is like the penguins who stand against each other to keep each other warm, but then the other way around with the ice.
You want that with the cubes?
Exactly.
Okay.
So
so not a lot of water will melt into your drink.
Exactly.
If you put it full of ice.
Yeah, because then the amount of ice has way more resistance towards the liquid that you're going to bring in. One of the things that I always would love to do, and that's me as being a professional within the work. It's making my glass cold as well, because the colder all your elements are, the longer it takes before your drink dilutes. So your quality of your drink stays also way longer in time present as well.
Yeah.
So basically, what I tend to do, I tend to make the ice or the glass cold. And unfortunately, I didn't bring that one with me, so I'm just going to use this one. And then I actually take out the water, which I used to cool down the glass. While doing that, we're going to add the amber. And basically, the way I created for you guys this recipe is that it's going to be your full bottle, so you don't have to measure it out, because I also aware that not everyone has a jigger in-house. So it's going to be the full bottle, which is 50 mils of the Kloetjes and Kloetjes.
Oh, so we didn't send the big bottle to them?
No. Actually, I don't know if it's still going to be a surprise, but actually this is the box which you guys are going to be getting, which has the tiny amber,
nice,
along with a beautiful glass who has the beehive motif in there
nice.
as well.
Cool.
So yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so they can add the whole bottle to their drink?
They can add the whole bottle to the drink,
okay.
And then you basically you just add the water. In this case, ginger ale, which I misplaced there. So yeah, it's gonna be ginger ale, because ginger ale is based on ginger, and we, at least I know that ginger and honey goes very well. So that's gonna be my mixing for this drink. So we have the 50 mils of amber, and one thing which I'm forgetting is a part of lemon. Lemon. Yeah, lemon.
Yeah. The other one is a lime.
Yeah, I'm seeing lime. That's
seeing a
why.
lime. Yeah, holding a lemon. Yeah.
So yeah, basically what I do, I have a part of the lemon. Just squeeze it over the glass, and then you just top it up with the ginger ale, just to make it a bit more fresh and also bring down a bit of the sweetness from the amber. So basically, the amber is still 100% honey based, but it's after the distillation we add honey back into it, so that's why it's also on the sweeter side. So this is the liqueur which we tend to see within Kloetjes and Kloetjes.
And is there an idea that you don't use a lime, that you use a lemon instead of a lime?
The idea behind it is that the lemon has a more sour side to it,
okay.
Which would work well with a brown spirit. And a brown spirit, by the same that, I mean a spirit which is aged in barrels.
Okay.
So it's kind of a golden rule, let's say, within bartending. So basically, all the products, white products, let's say, go with lemon.
White spirits, yeah.
White spirits,
yeah.
And brown spirits goes with lime.
So okay.
It's kind of say something to follow, let's say.
Okay.
And to make it a bit more fresh, we add a sprig of mint. And what I do with the mint, I actually tap it on my hand just to break the nerves, let's say, of the mint, which adds a lot of smell into it as well. And we just add that into...
Because your nose is also important when tasting, right?
Your nose is very, very important as well, and especially when it comes to mint, because mint doesn't have any flavor at all. It's the smell of mint which gives you an idea of a taste. You can all try it at home as well. If you just grab like a leaf of mint, you just chew on it while having your nose closed. As soon as you have chewed on it like 3-4 times, you open up your nose. That's when actually the smell and the flavor comes
to life.
It's basically like when you're, let's say, when you're sick, you have the flu and your nose is shut. You don't taste much.
Taste anymore.
It's kind of the same idea as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Looks good. Looks good.
So yeah, this is well, a mix, very easygoing mixed drink with the beautiful amber.
Is there a special name for it, or?
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Let's call this one Alvina.
Ah, that's a nice name. That's a nice name.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. In the meantime, are there any questions from home? No questions at the moment. Maybe later on, in the end of the program, there's still a possibility to ask Elder some questions. He's a famous guy, so if you want to tap in and ask him a few questions, you can do that later on in the show. One last question for me. What you see nowadays a lot also next to ginger ale is ginger beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what the difference is? And because they use it in cocktails as well, right?
So basically the difference is that ginger beer has been fermented.
Okay.
So it's fermented ginger, which adds way more spiciness to it.
Yeah.
And ginger ale has more the extract of the ginger in itself, so it's way lighter when it comes to spiciness, and that's why it's also way more transparent if you compare it to something which is fermented.
And do you use it, ginger beer as well?
A lot.
Yeah?
A lot, yeah.
Okay, and with what spirits?
Well, two of the most well-known drinks, classic drinks, is a Dark and Stormy and a Moscow Mule, which is basically the same drink, but then with a different spirit. Which goes also a lot into cocktails. It's just by changing a spirit, you get another cocktail as well.
Yeah.
The same goes with a Screwdriver and a Tequila Sunrise, for example. Which, again, Tequila Sunrise does have the addition of grenadine syrup as well.
Yeah.
But the difference is tequila and vodka.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, which works with in many cocktails that way.
Very cool, very cool. You have a cool job.
Thank you.
And you look cool as well.
Well, thank you.
And we're going to taste this a little after the camera's out. We're going to taste this, right? Okay.
Of course.
Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Thank
I'll go
you.
back to Alvina in the distillery.
Awesome.
Thank you, Elder.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
We are going back to the distillery because you're going to tell us everything about it. So it was very hard, actually, that he was preparing this drink and he was putting it over there.
You were looking at it,
And
you couldn't reach.
And why is he making one, not two, so we can join? Okay, but we'll do that. We'll do that later.
Just wait a few minutes then.
What a nice guy, and
Isn't he?
and very cool to have him as an ambassador for your distillates.
Yes, we love him.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I can imagine. Can you tell us a little bit about the process? Because we're here in the distillery. When did the company actually move over? Because you started in all different places in town, right?
yes, exactly. But it was all too small, and there was really no chance for growth, and it was. Well, the logistics were very bad. Every time you were over here, you needed something that was over there. So,
and you forgot something, you needed to go back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be more convenient to have one big place where we put everything together, so we can combine the things we do, and then our days would be much more efficient.
Yeah.
And even where it is, where it's situated, in a minute we're on the highway.
Yeah.
You know, so that's very nice because our bees are all over the south of Holland, so we have to.
And you keep bees here as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
on the roof over there.
Yeah, very nice.
And they are actually our breeding bees. So when we breed queens, then we put them in there in the hives over there.
And then when the bees are, let's say, grown up, they are resistant. And then you put them into nature, right? Or
no, honeybees can't be in nature.
Okay,
they won't survive.
They won't survive.
It's not anymore here in Holland.
Okay.
There are countries in the world where it's possible, but not here.
Okay.
So what we do is we have a large pool of beekeepers, and we share, and that way we want to spread the resistance. And well, the more we spread, the more resistance
all of the bees become.
Will build. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Very good project.
Thank you.
And now we're here, and this is actually, I thought this is called a lambic.
Alambic.
Right?
Alambic.
Can you tell us a little bit of what is going on here?
In England, it's called a pot still. In some other countries, in alambic.
Alambic.
And in Holland, we say stookketel.
That's a nice Dutch word.
Yes. Well, at first we fermented the mead, so that's where the alcohol comes in.
Yeah, ferment the honey.
Yes, because honey doesn't contain alcohol,
No.
but while fermenting it, it does.
So you add yeast to the honey?
Yes,
Okay.
and then after 2 or 3 months, mostly 3 months.
That's quite a long time, right? For
Yes,
fermenting.
it's yes, it is, but it's like wine.
Yeah.
And it won't ferment like grains, and that's probably why a lot
Not
of
a
people
lot of people are doing are using grain because it's quicker.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, but on the other hand, it delivers more alcohol, and a very nice kind of alcohol. It's well, you tasted it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. Then when we think it's enough and it won't ferment anymore, then we put it in this
Pot still.
in this pot still. We take off the helmet, and then we it's like a big bucket on the inside with copper, and we put it in there, and then we slowly heat the substance, the liquid.
By electricity, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
in here is water, and the water is getting hotter and hotter, and what's inside will be hotter and hotter also. So the distilling process is based on the fact that alcohol has its cooking point, what's its boiling point?
Boiling point, yeah.
Earlier, a lot earlier than water. So it's very important.
Around 70 degrees or so?
Yes, first you have the methanol, which is the bad alcohol,
bad alcohol.
and then you have the ethanol, which is the one we love.
Yeah.
But you have to keep your temperature underneath the 100 degrees, which is the boiling point of water.
Yeah.
Then you get all the alcohol out at the first distillation. And when you have enough first distillation results, then you put it again in the kettle for a second distillation.
Yeah.
And then the alcohol will be a lot higher. Our end product is mostly around 70%.
Okay.
And then
And then you add
distilled water.
distilled water to bring it down to 40.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, shall we see if there are any questions at home? Can I see the chat screen maybe here on my screen? There we are. This is always interesting because then I need to ooh, this is one for Elder. Elder, can you join us? Because we have an important question for you. The question is, what cocktail recipe would you recommend with Geneva?
Ooh.
We can do the one with the juniper.
Come up with a good one now, because it's Dutch courage. We need to have a good recipe.
I would say either a Martinez or instead of gin, Geneva in the last word. Which
Okay, and Martinez, would that be? Because
Martinez.
we're not all bartenders
yeah,
at home.
Martinez is let's say Manhattan. Manhattan is American whiskey, along with 2 parts American whiskey, 1 part vermouth.
Yeah.
Which is a high alcohol wine.
Yeah.
To make it easier, and you could also do that with Geneva. And as well, if I'm not mistaken, has a slightly touch of Maraschino, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Out of my head. And the last word would be, out of the two, my preference, because it's more herbal and fresh, which is equal parts Maraschino, chartreuse, which comes from green chartreuse, which comes from France, lime juice, and then in this case the white spirit would be Geneva instead of gin.
Nice. And obviously everybody at home loves to make a gin tonic nowadays.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not too often.
Yeah.
But is there a Geneva that we can put in instead of the gin?
For sure, but I would, in this case, I would suggest more of a Geneva based on malt, more on a malt wine or an old Geneva.
Okay, so
Yeah.
an aged Geneva with more taste to it.
Yeah, or a malt wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see we also have a very important question here from Stuart. It's a little bit of a Dutch question.
All right.
How much does a bottle cost at retail?
$49.95, if I'm not mistaken.
When you buy it with us, yes.
Okay.
If you wanna go to the shop, you buy as a consumer. You pay more.
Okay, but is it already available in Europe outside of Holland, or is it? Do you?
When you give us an email, then
You can send it out.
Yeah, for sure.
course.
It is definitely possible, and also one thing which we starting doing as well is that we went to a smaller bottle, which for some people might be maybe a bit interesting because then
Instead of
again,
the big one.
Instead of the big one, because the price becomes a bit lower as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also something that we need to, and we're trying to make people aware as well that this product has a history, and honey by itself is not a cheap product by itself, but then again also the process which comes along with it.
Yeah.
So we tend to think that it's a very beautiful price for what we tend to get.
And I think if people hear about the story, then they actually will be they will pay more for it than let's say another spirit or so.
And at the same time, you could also always go for the mead, which is higher or lower in cost as well, and you still have something which is based on honey. And in the end, our goal is to be able to keep taking care of the bees in general.
Yeah, very cool.
That's the most.
So everybody at home, you can send Alvina an email with your address, and she'll send you an invoice for the bottle as well. So it is available at home, but the small bottles are the small bottle is on the way home, so you can have a taste first, and then they'll love it. They'll come back for it. I think
they definitely will love it.
Are there any else? On honey, you see different flower-based names, like heather. Can you taste the difference when the product is distilled?
Yes,
Different kinds of honey, definitely.
Definitely.
Okay.
And that's why we have to choose very carefully.
What honey to use?
Yes, exactly.
And is there one sort of honey that you use, or?
No, several kinds, but there are a lot of examples from honey that we can't use, because when you taste honey and you taste it very well, every other taste in the honey is always outblasted by the sweetness. When the sweetness is gone, and that's what's happening when you ferment it and when you distill it, then the other tastes will remain, and when those tastes are not very nice, then you won't like the product. So you always
taste the honey before you use it?
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
Very cool. When do you know that ethanol is being produced rather than methanol? You kind of explained already, because the methanol evaporates first. So you take out the first part in distillation, and then when the temperature rises, then the ethanol part comes, right?
Exactly. And well, you know, there's a small percentage you have to take off the head. Then
when distilling, they call it.
And that's just like a law. And the honey produces less methanol than grains, so we keep it.
A secured part you take out.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. Annemiek, if you can join us, I have a question here. Now it's going to be interesting to keep our distance a little bit. So this is difficult. Where can they find information on Schiedam and the various distillers? Do you have it all somewhere on your website? Is everything there?
It's on our website. You find it under tours and tickets on the SDAM website, sdam.nl. And you can find all kinds of different tours, visiting the distilleries, doing workshops, for instance here at Be Serious,
Nice.
but also with other distillers. Go to the Distillers Academy, do a masterclass, do a cocktail experience.
So all the distillers are on the website as well?
Yes,
Okay,
you can
fantastic.
find them all
So
there.
everybody can find it there, and otherwise
Yes.
they can contact their contact details on the website,
Sure.
so they
And
can
they
ask
can
their
call us.
questions. Okay, very nice. I think that was it. Yeah, I don't see any questions. Oh, the URL is already here in the chat for everybody to use. Thank you, Emily. Very quick in the back with the laptop. Well done. Elder, Annemiek, Alvina, this was it. It was very nice being here. And I hope everybody at home enjoyed it as well. Unfortunately, you're not zipping your cocktail right now, but be sure that it will come to your home very soon. And then you have the YouTube link again, so you can rewind back to Elder to see how to prepare this cocktail. I thought it was very nice to have a visit here in this very special place with a special story around the bees and the distillates. So thank you very much. And we'll hope that everybody at home will come back one day and enjoy Schiedam. And for now, enjoy a little drink at home. Thank you very much.
Thank you.